fake IDs sent to a student named Dean accidentally get sent to that student's college's dean. Yes. And it wasn't only obviously the confusion between like the title Dean and his name being Dean, but they had similar last names. So that's how it happened. So what happened was the dean then opens up this envelope. He sees 4 fake IDs sent from China, and then he looks at the names of these 18-year-olds, well, 21 on the fake IDs, but looks them up. They're his students, 4 18-year-old students. They end up calling the authorities. They do not press charges, but they did make sure that the students undergo psychological counseling. Thoughts, my friends and less.
Denied.
Yes, girl.
Fake ID, real embarrassment.
I'm McLovin' it.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, how did you guys think how the school handled it?
So good.
Psychological counseling?
No.
Are you f***ing kidding
Why?
me?
Here's the thing is like they violated the law for the dean to be like, okay, I think you've been embarrassed enough.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put you through psychological counseling, which is essentially you just have to go to class. It's like detention.
So it wasn't like a therapy session? That's what
Even if
I would
it
think
is-
a psychological.
Even if it is, I
Counseling
think it's
session is.
you know, put it in the context of like what bouncers do when they find fake IDs.
They cut them up.
There are certain bouncers who call, you know, collect it and say they're calling the police and, you know, we're going to get you in trouble. And there's also the ones who are like, I think this is enough of a learning experience for me to catch you in a lie and make you really nervous for a while.
Those IDs look nuts. Business must be pretty bad if we're supposed to let them in.
So that's the punishment, and this is a teaching institution. I think I've taught you not to do this. So I think that the punishment, I think, fits the crime.
Really?
I mean, they could have gotten kicked out of school.
True. It's true.
Yes, so, but it's like, oh, the fact that we can't drink till we're 21, that will never not piss me off.
I
When
get
everybody else outside of the United States, well, not everybody, but you know,
Yeah.
a lot of people
And you can go
drink at
serve for your
18,
country. You can
right?
go serve for your country,
Oh
but
my
you can't have a
God.
beer. If you're mature enough to go sacrifice your life for your country, I'm sure you're mature
just-
enough to have a f***ing drink.
I get that. I get that argument, but I love the argument that's like, I'm old enough to vote. I want to be able to vote wasted. That's what the argument sounds like.
If it were high schoolers, I'd understand.
Yeah.
But it's college kids. That's what you do in college. You have fun, you experiment. I had
Yeah.
a fake ID.
Let's
It was
hear your
great.
fake ID story.
Oh.
Any bad ones? Like, did you ever get caught?
The first time I used it, I got caught, and they cut it in half.
They
and it was
did?
$180.
Oh, where'd you get it?
I got it from some guy who knew a guy.
Of
And my dad
course.
went with me to go pick it up, too. 'cause
Yeah,
my dad's a
Mr.
badass.
Esrig.
He was like, I need to make sure this is a good fake ID.
You look like a future pedophile in this picture, number 1. Number 2, it doesn't even have a first name. It just says McLovin.
And so we went and like met this guy at a park in San Diego.
Oh, dear.
And it was really sketchy.
Oh,
and
dear
my
Lord.
dad like looks at it, he's like, this is all right, this is all right. But I was also 20 when
yeah.
I got it. I wasn't 18,
And you
even
went
though, but
school
even
way,
still.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's just so, it sucked because I had so many friends that were way older and they would always invite me out and I could never go. And it was just to go, not even to necessarily drink. It's just to like feel like you're included.
When I was in college, the New York State driver's license was just a piece of paper that was laminated.
Really?
Yeah. And so you would just be, people would make them in their house as long as they had like the lamination machine.
That's it, right? No, you can't just buy a laminating machine. Only corporations have that stuff. It's very expensive.
And so there were people who would just go in and you'd wonder why in California everyone was from New York State. And I mean, that was it.
Did you have one?
No, I never had a fake ID.
You never had a fake
I
ID.
never had a fake
You're
ID.
a
In my
good
college,
kid.
well, my college was it's a big campus, and so you never really went off campus to do any of that
You
stuff.
partied in the dorm. I had a fake ID and I found mine at the gas station. And it was a
So it was
Texas
a real ID.
It was it was a
real
real
fake,
ID, but
yeah.
it was fake for me. And she was like 25, I think I was like 18. I was a freshman at UCLA and I used it, but I never memorized the address.
Wow.
And so I got quizzed once because there was a difference in her height. I think she said she was 5'5" on there. I was clearly like 5'8" and like gangly and like 5'8", and like I'd walk up
Noodle
at
man.
18 and one of the bouncers, stop it. One of the bouncers was like, okay, clearly so then he quizzed me on the address and I didn't memorize the address. He's like, so where do you live in Texas? And I was like, I don't remember. And he was like, yeah, bye, and he kept it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How long did you get to use it before he took it?
A good year. Yeah, girl.
Yes, good for you.
I want to find any bouncers out there who keep them and like put it in a book.
Oh,
Like
they
I'm
do.
sure
Or
they have
sell them.
terrible
They do.
horror. I mean, they probably
Sell
do that.
them.
But like I'm sure if you were a bouncer, you could collect some really terrible fake IDs.
I feel like the appropriate punishment for that would have just been to cut them up.
Yeah.
Psychological.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just like,
It doesn't, yeah, what?
I don't
You're breaking
There's
the
nothing
law. You're
psychologically
breaking the
wrong
law.
with them. If he didn't discipline the students, oh my gosh, the backlash that would have occurred. How did this, dean look the other way? So he had to implement something. And I think he did what he thought would be the least of the consequences, right? Okay, so what do you guys think about this story? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, if you have any fake ID stories, we want to hear them. And we'll see you guys all next time on Pop Trigger.